Hi everyone. I wanted to do a tutorial video for your grammar assignment this week on NoRedInk. You guys are going to be looking at active and passive voice. So you have two different assignments that you'll be completing. First, working with active voice verbs, and then the second, working with passive voice verbs. Okay, so in this sample lesson that we're going to do, make sure every time you start one of these lessons, it's always good to look at the lesson piece, because this is essentially the description or the instructions for what you need to do. It gives you information about the topic of the lesson so that you know what to do when you go on to do the assignment. Okay, so here in the lesson, it's explaining to us what active voice verbs are. This is important to know since you're going to have to identify them in the assignment. Okay, so it says active voice verbs tell us what the subject is doing. So we know that in sentences we have a subject, who the sentence is about. Okay, active voice verbs tell us what that subject is doing. So in our first sample sentence, yesterday, Daniela made the smoothies. Daniela is our subject of the sentence. Made is the active voice verb. It's telling us what she's doing. She made the smoothies. Okay. Saying verbs of any tense can be in the active voice as long as the subject is doing the action. So what it means, verbs of any tense. So as we know, verbs can be past tense, present tense, or future tense. So it doesn't matter what tense they're in as long as the subject is doing the action. Okay. So here we have, my teacher will grade our projects next week. So this sentence is in future tense because it's indicating what the teacher is going to do next week. So the teacher, or my teacher, is the subject. Will grade is the active voice verb. It's explaining what the teacher is going to do. Okay, and our next one, Sydney is searching for stink bugs. Okay, so this one is a present tense. It's describing what Sydney is doing right now. So it's saying Sydney is our subject, is searching, active voice verb, for stink bugs. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the practice for active voice verbs. So this is what your assignment is going to look like. Okay, so you need to make sure that you're paying attention to the instructions here. It says select the active voice verb in the sentence below. Okay, so when you look at this sentence, you notice as you hover over each word, okay, you can potentially click on that word and then submit your answer. But you want to make sure that you are clicking on the correct word. So remember, we're trying to identify the active voice verb. Mufasa owns the comic book shop next to the park. So Mufasa is the subject of the verb. Okay, so our active voice verb is what Mufasa is doing. So Mufasa owns the comic book shop next to the park. Okay. Lord Voldemort's toy poodle has won the dog show twice. Okay, so again, we're having to select the active voice verb. Lord Voldemort's toy poodle, okay, that's the subject of the sentence. Has won the dog show twice. Has won is what Lord Voldemort's toy poodle is doing. That active voice verb. Okay. In her backyard, Cho Chang is keeping a beehive. Okay, again, finding that active voice verb. Our subject is Cho Chang. And what is she doing? She is keeping a beehive. Okay, so your assignment will go on to give you more questions that are in that same style. Okay, so we're going to look at passive voice verbs next. Let's go back because I want to share the lesson portion of that with you. Nope. Okay. So again, remember, always look at that lesson piece first. So passive voice verbs, okay, shows that something is being done to the subject. Okay, so instead of it being the subject is doing something, now it is something is being done to the subject of the sentence. Okay, so in our first sample sentence, it says, yesterday, the couch was cleaned by me. Okay, was cleaned is the action that is being done to the couch. Okay, the couch is the subject of that sentence. So our passive voice verb would be was cleaned. It also says passive voice verbs always include a to be verb in front of the main verb. So the main verb is describing what it is that's being done. The to be verb is like was, were, will be. Those are to be verbs. Okay. In this second sample sentence, it says the smoothies were made by Daniel in the kitchen. So the smoothies are the subject. Okay. Were made is that passive voice verb. We have that to be verb, the main verb. So the smoothies were made by Daniel in the kitchen. Were made is our passive voice verb. Okay, and then our next sample sentence, our projects will be graded by, should say by, my teacher after school. Okay, so our projects is the subject of that particular sentence. Will be graded is the passive voice verb. It's describing what's going to be done to the projects. Okay, they will be graded by the teacher. So let's go ahead and look at practice questions. So it says, Mufasa's birthday cake is being decorated with frosting and real flower petals. So Mufasa's birthday cake is the subject of that sentence. What is being done to Mufasa's birthday cake? It is being decorated with frosting and real flower petals. Okay, so is being decorated is that passive voice verb. 2 summers ago, Primrose Everdeen was sent to the art fair to show her beautiful painting. So Primrose Everdeen is that subject of the sentence. Okay, and what is being done to her? That passive voice verb is was sent, because Primrose was sent to the art fair to show her beautiful painting. Okay. Hamish Abernathy's fuzzy green scarf was knit by his elderly uncle. Okay, so the subject of this sentence, very long subject, Hamish Abernathy's fuzzy green scarf. That is our subject. Okay, and what was done to the scarf? It was knit. Okay, so was knit is our passive voice verb. Okay, one more. Tomorrow, the award will be presented to Katniss Everdeen by the principal. Okay, so the subject of this sentence is the award. Okay, I know it seems as though Katniss Everdeen may be the subject, but it's not. It's referring to the award. Okay, the sentence is about the award and what's going to happen to the award. So if the award is our subject, then will be presented is our passive voice verb, because that is describing what's going to be done to the award. Okay. So I wanted to give you guys this quick tutorial. I know sometimes these assignments are a little hard to understand, especially because we're not face-to-face and in person for me to help you guys out. So I hope this helps. If you guys have any additional questions about your NoRedInk assignment for this week, please reach out to me, and I would be more than happy to one-on-one Zoom you and walk you through these exercises. Okay, good luck, everyone. I hope you guys are continuing to do your work and staying healthy.